Everybody just going into reading the book of Job. Just getting started back off with it. It is really hot outside where I'm at over here in southern Ohio. Over here where I'm at, boy, it's crazy hot. I mean, it's just warm. The book of Job is quite long. I did not realize that. But anyway, I'm gonna take right back off with the book of Job off of chapter 5 here. For the wrath for the wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. I have seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly I cursed his habitation. Habat hab, habitation. His children are far from safety, and they are crushed in the gate. Neither is there any to deliver them. Whose harvest the hunger eateth up, and taketh even out of the thorns, and the robber swalloweth up their substance. Although affliction cometh not forth from the dust, neither doeth trouble spring out of the ground. Yet man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward. I would seek unto God, and unto God would I commit my cause, which doeth great things, and unsearchable marvelous things without number. Who giveth rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up high those that below, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and group in the noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor man from the sword, from the mouth and from the hand of the Almighty. So the poor hath hope, and the iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Yes, ma'am, Miss Rhonda Huber, and thank you for joining my radio chat today. I appreciate that. Miss Rhonda Huber is a very lovely lady who I go to church with, and she's very nice, and she's very knowledgeable about the Bible as well. There is a place much hotter. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There is. I am enjoying this hot weather myself. I'm kind of enjoying the AC at the time being, but yes, it is. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore, deprise not thou in chastening of the Almighty. For he maketh sore and biteth up, he woundeth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver 3 and 6 troubles. Yea, and 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, for thou be in league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field thou shalt be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit the habitation. The habitation. I apologize, I keep saying that wrong. And thou shalt not sin. Thou shalt not also know thy seed shall be great, and thine offspring as the grass on the earth. Thou thou shalt come to thine grave in full age, like as a shook of corn cometh in his season. Lo, this we have searched it. So it is here. So it is. Hear it and know that forth for thy God. Love you, Rhonda. Thank you very much, sister. I appreciate that. Trying to read the book of Job. Everybody keeps telling me I need to get into Job, so I'm doing that today. Been a bit of a rough week, so we always just continue to keep looking forward. That's what we were supposed to do. Right here, and Job's grief is unbearable. But Job answered and said, "Oh, that my grief were thoroughly weighed, and they calamity calamity laid in the balances together. For now it would be heavier than the sand of the sea. Therefore my words are swallowed up. For the arrows of the Almighty are within me, the poison wherein drinketh up my spirit. The terrors, the terrors of God do set themselves in array against me. Do the wild ass a bray when he hath grass, and loweth as the ox over his fodder. Can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the white of an egg? The things that my soul refused to touch are as my sorrowful meat. Oh, that I might have request, and that God would grant me the thing that I would long for. Even that I would please God to destroy me. Even that it would please God to destroy me, that he would let loose his hand and cut me off. Then should I yet come forth. Then should I yet have comfort. Yea, I would harden myself in sorrow. Let him not spare, for I have not concealed the words of the Holy One. What is my strength that I should hope? What is mine end that I should prolong my life? Is my strength the strength of stones, or is my flesh of brass? Is not my help in me, and is the wisdom driven quiet from me? To him that is afflicted, pity should be shewed from his friend, but he forsaken the fear of the Almighty. My brethren have dwelt deceitfully as a brook, and as a stream of brooks they pass away, which are blackish by reason of the ice, and wherein the snow is hid. What time they wax warm, they vanish. When it is hot, they are consumed out of their place. The paths of their way are turned aside, and they go into nothing and perish. The troops of Tema looked, and companies of Sheba waited for them. They were confounded because they were confounded because they had hoped. They came thither, and they were ashamed. For now ye are no thing. Ye see my casting down, and are afraid. Did I say, bring unto me, or give a reward for me of your substance, or deliver me from the enemy's hand, or redeem me from the hand of the mighty? Teach me, and I will hold. Teach me, and I will hold my tongue, and cause me to understand wherein I have earned. How forcible are right words! But what doeth your arguing reapprove? Do you image to reapprove and speechless? And do ye image to reprove words and the speeches of one that disparate? We're making attempts reading the Bible. We're trying to anyway. How about you? Do you read it? Dwayne Washington. I appreciate you joining my chat, by the way. I do greatly appreciate that. Well, I appreciate first time reading the book of Job, so you kind of have to excuse me a little bit. Hey, my doggies are getting Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? Are not his days also like the days of the hireling? As a servant earnestly desireth the shadows, and as a hireling looketh for the reward of his work, hireling looketh for the reward of his work. So I am made as the possesses monthly of vanity. When I lie down, I say, when shall I rise? And then the night be gone? And I am full of tossings to and fro unto the dawnings of day. My flesh is clothed with worms and clods of dust. My skin is broken and become loathsome. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle, and are spent without hope. I remember that my life is wind. My eyes shall no more see good. The eye of him that hath seen me shall see more no more. The eye of him that hath seen me shall see me no more. Then eyes are open unto me. As the cloud is consumed and vanisheth away, so he hath go down, and the graves shall come up with no more. He shall return no more to his house, neither shall his place know him any more. Ditch and mine o' clothes shall arbor me, for he is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, and we should come together in judgment. Neither is there any daysman bet waxed us, that mighty lay his hand upon us both. Let him take his rod away from me, and let not the fear of terrify me. Then I would speak and not fear him, but it is not so with me. My soul is weary of my life. I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in bitterness of my soul. I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Shew me wherever thou contendest with me. It is good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress, that thou shouldest despise the work of thine hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked. Hast thou eyes of the flesh? Or seest thou a man seeth? Are thy days of the days of a man? Are they years as a man's days? And thou inquirest after mine iniquity, and searchest after my sin. Thou knowest that I am not wicked, and there is none that I can deliver out of thine hand. Thine hands have made me and vanished me together round about. Yet thou doest destroy me. Remember, I beseech thee, that thou hast made me as the clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again? Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and curled me as like cheese? Thou clothed me with the skin and flesh, and hast fenced me with bones and suons. Thou hast granted me life and favor thy visitation, and hast preserved my spirit. And these things thou hid in thy heart. I know that his was this is with thee. If I sin, then thou makest me, and thou wilt not acquit me from mine iniquity. If I be wicked, woe unto me. And if I be righteous, yet will I not lift up my head. And I am full of confusion. Therefore see thou mine affliction. For it increaseth, thou huntest me in a fierce as a fierce lion, and against thou shewest thyself marvelous upon me. Thou renewest thy witness against me, and increaseth thine indignation upon me. Changes war against me. Wars are against me. Wherefore then thou hast brought me forth out of the womb, or that I had given up to the ghost, and no eye had seen me. I should have been though I had not been. I should have been as though I had not been. I should have been carried from the womb to the grave. Are not my days few? Seize then and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little, before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and to the shadow of death. Before a land of darkness as darkness itself, and as the shadow of death, without an order, and where the light is as is darkness. Then answered Sephor the Namphathite, and said, should not multitude of words be answered? And should a man full of talk be justified? Should these lies make men hold their peace? And when thou mockest, shall no man make thee ashamed? For thou hast said, my doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. But oh, that God would speak and open his lips against thee, and that he would shew thee the secrets of wisdom. that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that God exalteth of these less than thine iniquity desireth. Canst thou be searching? Canst thou be searching, find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? Is it as high as heaven? What canst thou do? Deeper than hell, what canst thou know? The measure therefore is longer than the earth, and broader than the sea. If he cut off and shut off, or gather together, then who can hinder him? For he knoweth vain men, he seeketh wickedness also. He will not then consider it. For vain men would be wise, though man be born like a wild ass's colt. Though man be born like a wild ass's colt. That's pretty good. Where's that going to say that in here? Because I want to see that. What's the translation for that? Okay, I keep going. If thou prepare thine heart and stretch out thine hands toward him, if iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacles. For then shall it lift up thy face without spot. Yea, though thou steadfast, and thou shalt not fear, because thou hast forget thy misery, and remember it was the waters that pass away. And then thy age shall be clearer than the noonday. Thou shalt shine forth, and thou shalt be as the morning, and thou shalt be secure because there is hope. And thou shalt be secure because there is hope. Thou shalt dig about 3, and thou shalt take thy rest in safety. Also thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. So everybody that's on here listening, I am brand new to reading the Bible, and this is my very first time reading the Book of Job. So I am definitely muscling through. It's just been a very exciting couple days, honestly. When life beats you up, you have to get into Scripture just a little bit. That's my personal opinion, because it just gets a little bit too hard out there for some of us. Every now and again, defeating situations just keep continuously rising, and sometimes there's just not a lot we can just do about that. Is there anything anybody would like to read about or talk about? Please put it in the chat. That'd be wonderful. So anybody who has not read Job, so far from what I've been reading out of this about the Book of Job, immediately right out of the gate, as soon as you start reading this seems like actually a few pages long. I didn't realize there was. I'm actually going to flip through here and just have a quick gander real quick. Wow, there's looks like there's 40 chapters of the Book of Job. Anyway, I thought this was going to be one of those quick reads, but it's definitely not. We're going to just keep reading this. We're going to keep continuing on with my channel, going on with this. Uh, excuse me. Anyway, reading over, just wanting to recap over a little bit of what I've read with um, the Book of Job. To start the story out immediately, he starts losing literally everything. Thank you, Rhonda. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, dear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Rhonda is like the sweetest, by the way. She is a very inspiring. She's a very wonderful lady. She helps me out. She just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. And sometimes we got to have at, because a lot of times it's just not too daggone easy out there for us. Anyway, I'm going to get back to reading in a little bit of this. I highly recommend that people read the story of Job. Not only did my pastor at church recommend this, I've been going through some rough times here in the past about week or so, and I've literally had about three people pretty quickly immediately tell me to read the book of Job. Sometimes, just a second, my microphone's messing. All right. Anyway, I don't want to get too far off track from where I was. Yeah, I didn't realize there was this many chapters in the books of Job. There is quite a bit here. So I left off in 6 is where I just stopped at. Yes, he did. And he got everything back in tenfold from what everybody keeps telling me. I'm very excited to get to the end of this. Um, some of us just are so easy and so quick to complain about so much bad going on in our lives instantly that we can't take any kind of consideration of what actually a lot of other people have to continuously keep going through daily, day by day by day. Um, Job is probably one of the most, so from what I've read and seen so far, Job is probably one of the most inspiring men in the Bible so far. He's literally lost everything, shaved his head. I've always heard so many things about behind that. Somebody, you could always tell when somebody's losing their mind when they shave their head, and it actually says it in the Bible. And it actually says it in the Bible that he did that. That was quite shocking to me. There's certain little things that will just jump out at you that people use every day, and I don't think they realize that. So forth when it said when he was losing all this, he shaved his head and fell to the ground. Uh, that like shocked me when I read that. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Like, because in today's society, everybody has that, if somebody shaves their head, they're going crazy, in which really they are. Anyway, I'm just kind of blabbering on now. Rhonda's used to that because I do just talk and blabber on, but I'm sure she's not. I'm sure she doesn't mind hearing me. We're on YouTube and we're not on any kind of time trial. We do what we want to because this is just fun. This is just the greatest thing ever, in my opinion. Anyway, I'll continue on. Is there not one an appointed time to man upon earth? Are not his days also like the days of a hireling? As a servant earnestly desireth the shadow, and as the hireling looketh forward reward of his work. So am I made of the possesses months of vanity, and wearisome nights are appointed to me. When I lie down, I say, when shall I arise, and the night be gone? And I am full of tossing to and fro. I read that already. I apologize. I just realized that. I have to go back another page. I apologize. Job's anguished spirit is where I left off because I was getting ready to turn the page and then I stopped and started talking. I apologize for that. Therefore, I will speak, not refrain my mouth. I will speak an iniquity of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. Am I a sea or a whale that thou settest a watch over me? When I say my bed shall comfort me, my couch shall ease my complaint. Then thou scarest me with dreams and terrifiest me through visions, so that my soul chooseth strangling and death rather than my soul. I loathe it. I would not live alone. Let me alone, for my days are vanity. What is man that thou shouldest magnify him, and thou shouldest set thy heart upon him, and thou shouldest visit him every morning and try him every moment? How long wilt thou depart from me? Nor let him alone till swallowed down my spittle. I have sinned, what shall I do unto thee? O thou preserve, amen. Why thou hast set me as a mark against thee, so that I may burden to myself. And why doest thou not pardon my transgression, and take away my iniquity? For now shall I keep sleep in the dust. For now shall I sleep in the dust, and thou shalt seek me in the morning, but I shall not be. Then answered Bildad to Shuhite, and said, how long wilt thou speak these things, and how long shall the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind? Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? If thy children have sinned against me, and he hath cast them away for their transgression, if thou wouldest seek out unto God betimes, betimes, and make thy supplication to the Almighty, if thou wert pure and upright, surely now he would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself the search of their fathers. For we are but we but for we are but of yesterday, and nothing. But for we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. Shall not thee teach thee, and tell thee, and utter words out of their heart? Can the rush grow up without mire? Can the flag grow without water? Willis it is yet in the greenness, and not cut down, it withereth before any other herb. So are the paths of all that forget. So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. Whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be as spider's web? He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. He is green before the sun, and his branch shooteth forth the garden. His roots are wrapped about the heap, and he seeth the place of stones. If he destroy himself for his place, then it shall deny him, saying, I have not seen thee. Behold, thee is the joy of the way of his way, and out of the earth shall others grow. Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man, neither will he help the evildoers. Till he fill my mouth with laughing, and thy lips with rejoicing, that they hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. To not come to naught. Shall come to naught. Had to read that a few times to get that back over. That was chapter 8. We just read Bildad, God is just. Bildad, God is just. And here in 9, it's Job, God's mighty power. Take off with that here in a second. So, with the King James translation of this, I just about want to get one of my others out and see what the difference is in some of the translation in this, because a lot of this English translation, some of it is hard for me to translate over or translate back. You know what I mean? So some of it can be kind of hard to understand. So a lot of times I got to read something like several times to basically finally get it down. Try to look at it once in a while. Anyway, I get so sidetracked. I do kind of got a little bit of a Jesus joke. Wouldn't it be great if God would just talk to you straight up, instead of all these side quests and you know, bad lucks and all that? Like, bro, just bring back the burning bush. I'd love that. Just bring back the burning bush. You can put one here in my backyard if you want to. I'll hear it. I'll listen to it. Believe me. You ain't got to speak in tongues through people anymore. But believe me, that about freaks me out. If there was a burning bush in my backyard, I'd just go listen to it. Believe me. After the things that I've seen in this world and had to put up with, I would. I would just put up with it. Not a worry. So today's episode of what I'm talking about today, um, praying for others and trying to do good for others. I am just kind of going all over the place and just talking about random things today. Also talking about the book of Job. I'll continue on with chapter 9, God's mighty power. Um, I had a whole bunch to say a little bit ago. I want to come on my podcast and start just blurting it all out. But anyway, like I was wanting to talk about today was forgiving others, honestly. Praying for others, not praying against others. A lot of us have a lot to put up with. A lot of us have to put up with a lot of natural enemies. And when I say natural enemies, stuff that the arrows that fly by day, the unnormal attacks that just constantly just keep happening. And we do really have to pray for them kind of people. We can't be so down and beat ourselves up just because the little things ain't just lining up for us in our life. And that's one of the other reasons why I'm reading the book of Job is to find. It's so much just digging and looking for answers anymore about Jesus, about the Bible, about myself, and it's going to take. I be keep hearing this. It takes years. It's definitely not a short time period kind of a thing, and that's fine. That's what a lot of us really expect is instant gratification. Not everything is instant gratification, and just like in a little bit of the recap with the book of Job, what I've already read here. You think you're alone, thought about killing yourself or offing yourself because of so much bad happening in your life. Job described he wanted to do that too. He held fast to it. He held fast to his faith, but he started giving up too. We all can. Everybody has their own breaking point. Everybody has a breaking point. Mine was it last week. My breaking point was it last week. I've grown a lot of patience and I've grown a lot of strength since finding Jesus Christ and getting into preaching. And my coworkers pushed me beyond that. My coworkers absolutely pushed me beyond that, and I walked out of my job just the other day. That just happened. Um, you're only going to take so much abuse out of people before you finally get to the end of your line, before you get to the end of your snap, before you can't take anymore. You're only going to take so much. You're only going to be able to put up with so much. Everybody thinks they can just treat people how they want to, and that's not true. Definitely not true. Grab another microphone there. Yeah, so many times that we have to put up with so much stuff, so much that we have to put up with other people's stuff, and we're forced to. The thing that's just such a confusing, frustrating question to me is how can we work harder? How is it that we work harder to how is it that we can work harder to live for Jesus, to praise Jesus, to live the life of Christ when we live in such a literally controlled society that you can't afford to miss one day because it's just going to mess up everything. And a little bit of research that I've done that I'm putting together for a preach that I'm going to do at some point soon. That so Henry Ford invented the 40-hour week, and if people didn't know that, not him but his team, people. When I say that, I just say that in reformatorm, I mean, but he did, and how he discovered that was Henry Ford had he built a factory in South America. And what this was, he built an entire town. It was called Fortopia. He built an entire town, okay? And all this town was designed to do was make tires. That's what at this point in time, rubber came out of trees. It was sap. So at this point in time, they made rubber from from the sap that was coming out of those trees from that country. So Henry Ford built a town, literally built an entire factory foundation, everything. Built the entire get up and go, get up caboodle and all. So he built this and took, of course, American paying wages, that same paying wages to that factory. And in the middle of doing all that, come to find out, his guys were only working 3 days out of the month because of the differences in pay. Not the differences in pay, the differences in society. These people was living like millionaires in that time period if they worked as many hours as what they were trying to produce. Okay. So they had come up with the 40-hour week. That was just enough where people didn't have to, you didn't get too much money, you didn't work it too much, you wasn't too exhausted. It trained people, is what it did. It absolutely trained people, is what it did. It taught them to be stupid. It literally taught us to get in line, to just wait in line, to just go get that factory job making $10 an hour. It's miserable out here, man. It's defeating, is what it is. It's unfair to the older generations that messed it up for us. They really did. I mean, they really did. I'm definitely not saying I'm against retirement. Definitely not saying I'm against it. But my golly, do we really have to have people be retired for 30 and 40 years? I mean, literally, there's companies. I personally know people who put in 20 years and they've been on retirement for 30. Like that's unfair. Like not even literally not even half time. You're like tripling it. I think it's absolutely it's completely devastating to the normal job market, to where I work at, to the normal job market in my little area where I live around here. $15 to $20 an hour is literally the best you're going to do, let alone benefits and retirement. In my grandfather's day, in the 70s, they were making more than that with retirement. Those Some of those guys that are still alive get way more on retirement than you can get out of 100 than making 100,000 a year. I mean, it's truly unrealistic to hear some of the numbers that I've heard some of these guys getting out of retirement. I mean, no wonder why, literally, no wonder why housing is where it's at. No wonder why the cost of everything is exactly where it's at. Is that something that we don't look at, is how much we pay out to people in retirement? Definitely saying it's earned. I'm definitely saying don't take it away. You can't just take away retirement and stuff like that. But my God, I don't understand why these people got to make these kind of amounts of money. And then they advertise for 15 bucks an hour. The bad part about that, we're around here where I live, you ain't gonna pay a house payment for that kind of money. I mean, literally, you're not going to pay your own house payment. It's just it's not easy for the small blue collar kids on the ground out here. They just I don't see enough of that broadcasted, especially on YouTube. Uh, I just see people complaining that they're not getting enough from the government. I'll tell you what I complain about that we don't get is enough good paying jobs. I mean, every Circle K is hiring. You have to be on welfare to afford to live there, or still live at your mom's basement. I don't know. Sound like I'm just complaining too much now. Might leave off right here at Job on 9. I was reading a little bit of Revelation there the other day, and wow, I've got to say, Revelation is breathtaking. We also talk about it in my one Bible study at church, Friendship Fellowship Church, where I go. Hmm. So I'm going to actually preach a little bit about prosperity because I'm wanting prosperity to come near my life. I would like to prosper. I'm trying to get prosperity near my life. So First Corinthians 4:10. Let's go see what that's at. $16.94. Flipping over here to 16.94. First Corinthians 4:10. Did I look that up right? For I think that God hath set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. We are the fools for Christ's sake. We are fools for Christ's sake. It actually says that. We are fools for Christ's sake. But ye are wise men. But ye are wise men. But ye are wise in Christ. Christ. But ye are wise in Christ. We are fools for Christ's sake. But ye are wise in Christ. We are weak, but ye are strong. But ye are strong. We are fools for Christ's sake. But ye are wise in Christ. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. Even unto the present hour we are both hunger and thirst, and are naked and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place, and labor working with our own hands, be reviled, we blessed, revealed, we blessed, be persecuted, we suffer it, be defamed, we entreat. We are made as the filth of the world, and are the offspring of all things unto this day.